Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new, my name is Chiquita and here I discuss all things business related. So if that's something that you're interested in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit your notification bell so you'll never miss an upload. All right, so getting in today's topic, I have comprised a list of 6 different steps that you can take to set up your business. But before we get started, I have to issue this disclaimer. I am not a legal professional. I am not giving legal advice. I am merely sharing my experiences and what I did to set up my businesses. And it is always best practice to consult with a tax professional and a legal professional so that you can set up your businesses according to the laws in your state. So step number 1, you want to set up your business name. This is something that is very simple, but yet very important. This is going to be your brand. This is what the public is going to know your business by. This is what you're going to develop your marketing. You're going to develop everything around this. So it's important that you take the time and put some thought into it. Make sure it's something that's unique and make sure it's something that fits the type of business that you are starting. Another important thing that you want to keep in mind, you always want to check to make sure that that business name, catchphrase, tagline, whatever it is not copyrighted or trademarked. So how you check for that, you go to the uspto.gov and I will link it below in the description box as well. So you go to this website, you're going to go to the database, type in your business name, and it pulls up all the businesses that are trademarked or copyrighted within the US, and it'll let you know if that name is available or not. So if it's not, you're good to go. You can take that name as your own, and I would also highly suggest that you trademark or you copyright that name or tagline, catchphrase, or whatever having to do with your business. If this is something that you see yourself taking seriously and really trying to grow and really in it for the long haul. And it has the appropriate fees and fee schedule, and it tells you the whole process that you need to take to make that happen as well. Next step is getting your EIN. This is your employer identification number. This is how the IRS is going to identify your business that's operating within the US. They're going to assign to you a 9-digit number that is basically, it's the equivalency of a social security number for your business. To obtain one of those, you're going to go to irs.gov. And again, I will link that below in the description box as well. And it's going to tell you where to go on the website. I'm sorry if I'm looking down. I'm actually looking at the website right here to tell you guys. Anyways, it's going to tell you exactly where to go. And it's going to share with you how you can determine your eligibility, if your business is eligible for one, and tell you a little bit about the online application process. Then it's going to have a box for you to click on for apply online now. Once you click on that box, it's going to have you fill in all the applicable information, your name, address, business name, all the basics. Then you're going to get to a box that's going to ask you about your legal structure. This is where you're going to want to consult with a tax professional or some type of legal professional to go over your options to see what's best suited for your business. So, I mean, you have choices of either a sole proprietor, single member LLC, multi-member LLC. You can choose to be incorporated or unincorporated. So once you decide which legal structure that you want to go with. Okay, guys, so real quick, I just want to let you know, if you are deciding to go the LLC route, you're going to have to do that first. apply for your LLC, make sure the name is not taken, make sure everything's approved with the state first. Then you're going to want to get your EIN, because when you go on there to get your EIN for your LLC, it's going to ask for the date of business formation and the legal name. So you're going to want to make sure you have that ahead of time. Go ahead and save a file on your computer, print one so you'll have a physical copy of one that you can put in a file, whatever the case may be. Hold on to it. And also, I wanted to add, depending on whatever legal structure that you choose for your business, like for example, for me, when I started one of my businesses, I started out as a sole proprietor. So I did not get an LLC originally for that particular business because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do this long term. So anywho, in order for my business to be recognized in the state of Texas, I had to go to my county clerk's office and I had to fill out an application for a DBA, which is doing business as. So they would recognize me as doing business under whatever name, for my business. So this is something that you want to check with your state, just in case you do choose sole proprietor, to see what other steps that you have to take to solidify you doing business under that name and under that entity. Next step is going to be your business mailing address. So if you're one of those businesses where you're lucky enough that you actually have a physical location, or you have an office or whatever that you're doing business out of, that you do have an address, you're good to go. But if you're one of the other people where you work from home, or you have a mobile business and you don't necessarily have a separate address, it's best practice to obtain a business address. Now, some of you may be like, okay, that's cool. I can just go get a PO box from the post office. And that's not necessarily the correct thing to do. Whenever you apply for business credit, which you're going to want to do that, a lot of them are not going to take your business seriously with a PO box, or a lot of organizations will not even accept a PO box. So you have pretty much no choice but to either use your residential or obtain a virtual mailbox or a virtual office or a UP mailbox. It's just basically they give you a physical address. It doesn't say PO box. It doesn't say any of that. It is a physical address that you're able to put down as your business address. So you could say that this is where your business is located. So you give the illusion, you give the appearance that you actually have an office or a building that you conduct business out of. Whenever they're doing checks for your to give you any type of business loan or business credit, these are things that they're going to look at. They're very leery of giving people any type of business loan or business credit that use their residential address as a place where they're doing business. I personally have a UPS box, so it's not like a PO box. When I put down my business address, it has a physical address that I put down, and it gives the illusion that I have my own office and everything's 100% legit. And I can just pick up my mail from there and all that good stuff. Step number 4, you're going to want to obtain your own business bank account. This is very important as well because you're going to want to separate your assets. Pretty much with every legal structure there is, you're going to want to separate your assets. The exception is probably a sole proprietor because your assets and your business and everything is one and the same. That's how they see you. But even best practice for bookkeeping and tax purposes, I would still separate my funds. It just makes everything a little bit easier when that time comes. But anywho, it's good to get a checking account and a savings account. The checking account is going to serve the purpose of your money, when you get paid from whatever, you get checks in, that goes to that account, and you set aside that money for payroll. And also any business purchases you have to make, supplies, whatever, if you have it to contract anybody, if you have to pay vendors, you'll do that out of that account. And then your savings account is going to be money that you set aside for savings for your business, for like things you get in a bind, God forbid, or also to save for tax purposes. That's the main function for mine. So I put back a certain amount of money every time I pay myself for tax purposes. So when tax time comes, I'm not like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? Where am I going to get this money from? I'm not scrambling. I already got the money set aside, and I have more than enough that'll cover my taxes if I have to pay X amount. Also too, it makes it easier to pay yourself. When you have all your funds and all your money is going to one account, whether you pay yourself the same amount each time or whatever, it's easier to gauge your money, track your money, where it's going, how much is coming in, the frequency, all that good stuff. Depending on what bank you bank at, they keep up with all that for you. And it's easier to set yourself up on payroll. So I'll actually be making another video about different payroll companies that you can set up to pay yourself like you're on an official job. Well, technically, basically you are, but you know, just like if you were a W-2 employee, everything would be set up just like that. And you're going to need a separate bank account for them to do that. And then also your accountants can have access to that as well. And that's another good thing about having your own business bank account, because just like me, I have an accountant. My accountant and my bookkeeper has access to that account to keep track of things, and we have an open communication. And that's another thing you'll have to have set up with your bank if you go that route of having an accountant, is getting them access so that they can do whatever it is that they need to do. And last but not least, like I said before, it's required for some legal structures to have a business bank account. For example, LLC, that's the sole purpose. You have the LLC so it can protect your personal and your business assets and keep everything separate. And if you're commingling it, it defeats the purpose. You just wasted money. Step number 5, you're gonna wanna obtain your DUNS number. So DUNS stands for Dun and Bradstreet. Basically what they are, they're a corporation that is basically the equivalency of a business credit bureau. They issue you a unique 9-digit identification number specifically for your business. And they keep up with all the data that has to do with your business trade lines or business loans, business credit wise. The things that you're gonna need in order to get your DUNS number, you're going to need the legal name of your business entity, address, name of the CEO, year created, phone number, legal structure, primary line of business, and total number of employees. You can obtain this information and apply at dnb.com, or you can call them at 1-866-705-5711. So getting your DUNS number is very important, very crucial to your business, because this is how you establish business credit. Business credit is a beautiful thing to have, because starting out, you may not have all the money to pay for everything, supplies, and everything you need for your business. So you can obtain trade lines. Basically, most of them start off net 30. They have net 55, net 60, net 90, where they will let you purchase items and then pay them back within the terms, which is like net 30, like I said, or net 55 and so forth. And now they will give you a set amount. They'll tell you your business is approved for up to X amount, and you can buy everything under that balance, pay back within 30 days as agreed, and they report that to Dun & Bradstreet. And there's also Experian and other business credit bureaus as well, but we're talking about Dun & Bradstreet. That's the main one. And as you get several different trade lines, it's gonna report to them, and it's gonna facilitate a Paydex score. And this is just like, your personal credit is basically like a FICO score. but it's for your business. And with that, it's going to tell them, okay, this person is responsible. Okay, this person has dealt with X amount of trade lines with X amount of money and they've paid it back. So, you know, this is what we're suggesting that they're eligible for as far as the highest limit of credit you can extend them, or the highest loan that you can offer them, because their business is their business doesn't seem like it's going out of business anytime soon. Their finances are strong. They're paying back on time. Their business relationships are good. So they're good to go. So in my personal opinion, it is so much more easier to obtain business credit than personal credit. Because actually with business credit, they actually encourage you to spend more. And, you know, as long as you pay it back, it's all good. With your personal credit, they don't want you to max out your credit cards, and they want you to utilize a certain under like 30% of that, and then, you know, pay the full balance off within X amount of time. Also, it's a misconception. People think you have to have good personal credit in order to get business credit, but that is completely false. But I'll go over all this in a completely separate video and answer questions. I may do a live on this because I love business credit. Business credit is the bomb. And I was just super excited, and I was completely shocked. Like, oh wow, like I got all these trade lines and they approved me for this. And it's just like, I get to start all over, but it's for my business. Then once you get responsible with that, then you can kind of take some of those things and apply it to your own personal credit and work on that. And it's a beautiful thing. But anywho, getting your DUNS number is something that you need to do. Last but definitely not least, step number 6, your SAM account. So basically, you're going to go to sam.gov and you're going to enter in your business information so you can be eligible to bid on federal contracts and receive federal funding for your business. That's a beautiful thing, isn't it? So you're going to already have to have everything else that I previously discussed in this video set up. Okay, your business mailing address, your EIN, your DUNS number, of course, your legal structure, all that good stuff, because it's going to ask you for that on that website. You're going to enter that in and you'll be able to set up and register your business so that you can bid on these contracts. Because let me tell you, if you're able to get a government contract, that's a beautiful thing. You can get as many as you can bid for, and you can make some good money. Also, if you can receive federal funding for your business, that's always a great thing, right? Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we have reached the end of my video. Hopefully you have learned something, or this has helped you, because all I wanted to do was just to kind of have a little guide to guide you in the right direction of how to set up your business and how to get the ball rolling. Because we out here, we trying to get this shmoney, okay? We trying to put things in place so, you know, we can do the dang thing. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video. Please give it a thumbs up and go ahead and subscribe if you're not subscribed. And please follow me on my social media.